Oh no, surely not.
Is that no? I just.
Oh my!
Is this? We've seen a mouse slip, Kaya.
No!
Magnus Carlsen has.
Is it true?
Yes.
He's dropped his queen on the wrong square, and we see the results just popped up.
I think the game is over. I
He
think
actually did resign?
He has resigned.
There we see Levon. He's sacrificed a pawn, and I'm so shocked. I wouldn't even have dreamt of this move.
Bishop takes pawn check. King has moved to the corner.
Is he sacrificing it for a reason?
He must be sacrificing for a reason because this.
But what reason? I don't understand.
So I was thinking a move like queen, side-stepping close to the king.
You want to run and give a check to the king. Yes. That shows the difference in styles. Jovanka wants to checkmate. I'm scared of being checkmated. I think both paths there, either taking care of white's own king or going for the black king. I think they're both perfectly viable. Jovanka.
Us aggressive players.
You're so in sync.
It's like they're listening to you, Jovanka. He is only 17. I heard rumors that you think faster the younger you are, and that the older you get, your brain starts thinking a little bit slower.
I think that's right.
I'm going to argue and say I disagree, but only because I'm older.
I'm not sure whether Ding missed it, Jovanka, but he allowed that pawn to be taken.
No.
I'm shocked. Maybe he just forgot about that pawn.
The king is now trapped. That black king cannot get out. That's it. It's game over. What a surprise. That is Ding's first loss in the tournament.
The youngster has crushed him.
That is
Giri.
serious action.
He's about to resign, I think.
He
Look at him. Wow, he's resigned, and that's so sudden. Maybe we can keep the.
Happened.
He missed that Levon could push his rook the whole way up the board, and there's an unstoppable idea of a checkmate now on this square, and this would checkmate the black king. That was so sudden. I think Anish is in shock. I think there's a blunder in the position. Maybe Magnus thought he was doing well here, but he's missed a very important tactic.
And it's been played.
Look at
Magnus
Magnus.
played it, and you can see the nod on Hikaru's face. Now Magnus is going, no, why did I play that? Hikaru has set a nasty little trap.
I'm so shocked. I wouldn't even have dreamt of this move.
Keep that core tight, Mr. Levon. Us aggressive players.
This is a crucial moment now. I think Levon, he's bobbing faster than ever, Jovanka. This shows that Magnus, he doesn't care that he's playing one of the best players in the world. He wants to win. Oh no, surely not.
We've seen a mouse slip, Kaya.
No!
He's dropped his queen on the wrong square, and we see the results just popped up.
I think the game is over. I think
actually did resign?
He has resigned.
It wasn't the best of start. I was choosing between many strong continuations there, and all of a sudden I have to resign.
Magnus Carlsen had a terrible start to the Champions Chess Tour, but the world champion struck back and ended up in top of the table in the preliminaries.
I certainly don't feel like a winner, because I don't think I played particularly well, but it was enough.
For many of the tournament favourites, it all came down to the last rounds to secure a spot in the quarter-finals.
I think there's a blunder in the position. Maybe Magnus thought he was doing well here, but he's missed a very important tactic.
And it's been played.
Look at
Magnus
Magnus.
played it, and you can see the nod on Hikaru's face. That is
Giri.
serious action.
He's about to resign, I think. Look at him. Wow, he's resigned, and that's so sudden. Maybe we can keep the.
Happened.
No one had a more dramatic ending to the preliminaries than Anish Giri. On top of the table before the 5 last rounds, the Dutchman lost 2 games in a row and had to fight to qualify.
I have it here. Anish, you are in 8th place. You have qualified.
Yay! That is so undeserved, but
I don't agree with you on that, Anish Giri. You have definitely.
I know. I just said it. I said that I undeserved, asking for you to reconfirm that I deserve. Of course, I deserve it. It's obvious.
And your next match will be against Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah. So it seems I got a punishment.
Don't trade those queens in Ishigiri, because if you trade those queens, Magnus Carlsen, biggest endgame expert out there. Oh no, he's
traded the queens
off the board.
No.
And then we see the bars zoom back towards the center. Don't do this at home, kids. Don't trade queens when you're on the attack. This is why White moved his rook to the center of the board. The rook has a discovered attack against the queen now. We see the queen has left the board. If we do a quick count, Black has 2 rooks, but more importantly, these rooks, they're not connected. This bishop is at home, blocking them. Black's king is now defenseless.
Maxim vachier-lagrave must feel so naked now.
You have summed it up. That king is naked.
Magnus Carlsen playing with fire here. He needs to escape here to safety.
Anish Giri could have gained the upper hand in Game 1 against rival Magnus Carlsen. But instead of pushing for the win, the Dutchman played it too safe.
Don't trade those queens, Anish Giri, because if you trade those queens, Magnus Carlsen, biggest endgame expert out there. Oh no, he's trading the queens.
Traded the queens
Off the board.
No.
Then we see the bars zoom back towards the center. Don't do this at home, kids. Don't trade queens when you're on the attack.
Were you surprised when he offered to trade queens there?
No, I know how he plays. It's a sort of position where there feels like there should be something very, very strong for black, but maybe it's not so easy to find.
After that, Carlsen and Giri played 2 more draws, and it all came down to the last game.
Anish, I think he's just going through the motions now. Mentally, he's accepting that tomorrow he needs to come out all guns blazing. And
The last game felt very good.
In the quarterfinal between Levon Aronian and Ian Nepomniachtchi, we had a lot of action.
Oh, and look at the bar now.
The bar is there something radical in the air?
Aronian lost the second game, but came back strong with 2 straight victories to win day 1.
Black has a winning move, and he's done it.
He's done it. Oh my God, yeah, we are going to see a big turnaround.
Timur Rajabov was on fire, and after just 3 games, he had already secured the day 1 win over Wesley So.
We see Hikaru's facial expressions as well. I think he's just regretting things. He's wondering where it all went wrong.
Maxime Vachier-lagrave won the first game and day 1 overall against big favourite Hikaru Nakamura, and the Frenchman seemed full of confidence.
And Maxim taking time to eat while his clock is ticking again under 30 seconds.
That's a statement. I think we've just seen a big blunder on the board. Look at Rajabov's face. He just looks shocked. Black's queen is attacking a rook along the diagonal and the other rook along the other diagonal. White can't protect them both at the same time.
And okay.
This game is decided. And Levon, he's found the key move, the winning move.
And he's pouring himself some ginger coffee.
We were saying Black should go for the white king immediately. Now is the moment. Instead, Black thought he had time to advance his pawns. Levon has completely killed his opponent's idea now. He's retreated the rook and stopping Black from giving a check on this square. Now he's covering his king. His king is nice and safe. Levon's back in the driver's seat.
Oh, and look at the bar. It says this is completely winning for Magnus Carlsen.
He's just shuffled his queen across. He's defending his knight right now. But maybe this knight is trapped. White can attack this knight one more time. He can push his pawn forward, attacking this knight. Maybe there's a trick. He can break the connection between Black's queen and Black's knight. Maybe this is the move that Nepomniachtchi has missed, cutting the coordination between his queen and knight. I think that knight is doomed. It's pretty much game over already if Magnus Carlsen finds this idea.
He will now.
Nepomniachtchi's face, I think he's slowly starting to realize what he's done.
Oh, yes, he realizes.
He's just been caught unaware. It's pretty much game over. This green bar, it's all the way over to White's side now. There's actually a huge possibility here for Magnus Carlsen. He could pretty much draw the game instantly if he finds this move. He can capture this pawn with his bishop, taking advantage of his rook lined up with the white king. He has played it.
Oh my God.
And we could see mass exchanges right now. The queen will take, giving check, attacking this bishop, but Black's going to block. And we know what we said about the queens being traded. Everything's going to start leaving the board in a minute. And Anish Giri, he's let him off the hook again.
Wow, once again.
Anish knows he's let it slip.
He gets so close every time.
We said he was so in control for so long, but I think the pressure's getting to him. He's going after White's pawns on the right side, but he's forgetting that his most important pawn is that pawn on the left there. Now,
Oh, the computer hates that move. The bar says now it's a draw. What's happening?
Oh, and I think Nepomniachtchi's blown it.
he has blown it.
And that extra pawn that Black has on the right-hand side of the board is gonna start to count. I'm a big fan of that Black queen. I'm also looking at the potential of this knight. There's so many things.
There's a lot
The more I'm looking at, the more I'm liking it. I always imagine these endgames a little bit like Red Riding Hood, like with a basket. I will have a better knight. I will have a better queen.
Oh, and look at the bar.
He's just shuffled his queen across. He's defending his knight right now. But maybe this is the move that Nepomniachtchi has missed, cutting the coordination between his queen and knight. Nepomniachtchi's face, I think
Okay.
he's slowly starting to realize what he's done. He's just been caught unaware.
It was the worst thinkable start to the semi-final for Ian Nepomniachtchi against Magnus Carlsen.
I think Queen B8 is a little bit weird comparing to Queen C7, but I would like to see Queen C7 at the board, not Queen B8. Queen B8 is clearly losing because of D6.
But the Russian got several chances to strike back.
Nepomniachtchi playing very accurately so far. Okay,
Oh.
not sure about that last move.
Oh, the computer hates it.
Yeah, that's the thing. The one move is
Yes.
the difference.
And when Carlsen ran into problems with the internet connection, Nepomniachtchi had great chances for a win in Game 3.
I think the pressure's getting to him. He's forgetting that his most important pawn is that pawn on the left there. Now
Oh, the computer hates that move.
I think Nepomniachtchi's blown it.
he has blown it.
I would say he was the victim of himself. You know, he was the one who took the bad decisions.
I kind of feel relief right now because in the first game I returned the favor from the group stage when Magnus mixed up the square for his queen.
With a win in Game 1 and draws in the rest of the games, Carlsen ended up as winner of the first semi-final match.
It was quite similar to the first day of the match with Anish, actually, and that I was mainly struggling.
We can see Nakamura, we talked about his faces, but once he starts to exhale a lot, breathe out a lot, he knows it's all over.
With a win in Game 2 against Hikaru Nakamura, Wesley So got off to a great start in the semi-finals.
I feel very good today, but at the same time, I think Hikaru played subpar today. I'm sure tomorrow he'll play 2 times harder. I'm going to have a sleepless night.
Nakamura was never able to get back, and with the rest of the games ending in draws, So was the winner of Day 1.
Good feeling to be in the lead, but every match is different. Tomorrow, I'll try to play solidly, of course. I mean, 4 draws is more than enough. Try to not run into any problems with the black pieces, especially in the opening, and hopefully be able to hang on.
I thought the final game actually it was very close to winning for me, but unfortunately it was by 1 move. I can't checkmate him on the H file, so it was a little bit unfortunate. But it's only 1 day, so you know we play again tomorrow.
Oh! Look at the bar. It looks like completely winning for Magnus.
I mean, that queen was so nicely centralized. Never retreat your queen unless you really have to.
Oh, look at Nepomniachtchi.
He just forgot about those pawns on the left side of the board. He retreated his queen. His queen was protecting those pawns. And Nepomniachtchi shaking his head. He knows that one move, he let it slip.
It is over. Wow.
Wesley So has blundered. We're speechless here in the studio. It's just he walked into a perpetual check. It meant that the white king could not escape from being checked forever. He had to move his king, and after a couple more checks, he found he couldn't escape. There's just no way to run away. Shocking developments. Almost any move was winning, apart from what he chose. I like to talk to my pieces ever since I read a book. I read a book when I was young called The 7 Deadly Chess Sins by Jonathan Rowson, and it talked about the mistakes that we all make and the reasons behind those mistakes. Sometimes we forget to talk to our pieces. For example, here, Wesley, so he's going to be talking to that rook on the bottom left-hand side of the board. He's going to be saying, "Are you happy right now?" That rook's going to say no, so he's going to improve it, even if it takes 2 or 3 moves.
All right. Well, I guess you have to be a little bit crazy to be great at chess.
And I think he's going to...
Oh, look at the bar. It goes down to draw again.
Yes,
Instead of-
I think he had the right idea, but perhaps the wrong execution. Magnus Carlsen has been let off the hook, David.
Oh, is this
right.
a terrible blunder by Wesley So?
Yeah, it's just the wrong execution. He advanced his pawn instead of developing the bishop. Oh, Magnus has got 9 lives.
He didn't do the queen trade.
Hang on a second. Something.
Oh, look at the bar.
No, there's something just happened.
Magnus Carlsen, he's blundered into checkmate.
Oh, this is probably the craziest game we've seen so far in the Skilling Opens.
I mean, a potential queen exchange. We thought the game was about to end. White gave a check, and I can't explain this next decision. I mean, so many safe moves. You could block with the queen, you could run the other side with the king. But instead, Magnus, Black only has 1 reply now. The bishop and queen team up very well together. Black only has one safe square. Again, Black only has one safe square, and the queen, it's a bit of a merry-go-round. More checks. Magnus Carlsen, he resigned here because the queen, the bishop, and the pawn combined to trap the Black king here. Pawn, the side.
Oh, and he has played. Oh no, he has made a mistake. This is a blunder by Wesley So, and it is going to be game over. Wow.
This is where Wesley So made a huge mistake. He should have just retreated with his king, keeping an eye on this white pawn, stopping it from advancing. Instead, Wesley So blundered. He tried to trade the rooks. Maybe Wesley So missed that he cannot stop the white pawn now because of a beautiful deflection. White would distract the black rook, and after the rook takes, White would make a new queen. Magnus Carlsen, he saw this all in advance. Very impressive calculation skills.
You do have a compliment from Ciro Pirata. He says, amazing chessboard pattern on David's tie.
Ah, yes.
Thank you. I saved my tie, my best tie for last. It's my only clean tie. I've got chest socks in as well, but I don't think anyone wants to see my legs. So.
Oh, yeah, we do. Can you stretch them out?
We do.